Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp. When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
What's going on, good peoples? Peace and blessings to everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another stream. If you don't know by now who we are, I'll introduce myself. Deep Entropy, Last of the Race Creed. This is Assembly of Excellence. I'll let them do their thing. Happy Memorial Day. Happy related Memorial Day to those who I didn't get a chance to shout that out to prior to this. I figure I'd just bring everybody up right away. No need to do like the pleasantries, you know what I'm saying? How's everybody feeling this Tuesday evening?
Good. I hope y'all didn't hear me crunching on my popcorn while I was watching the
It
intro.
was so loud. Oh my God, I could hardly hear what he was saying. Jesus. Close your mouth. I'm kidding. No, it's all good. I am super excited. I got some news that that would dishearten most people in a certain field, but really gave me hope and gave me some really good, like, oh goody 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 goody, like Christmas came early kind of vibes. So, do any of you follow marketing or digital marketing news?
I'm not too familiar with it.
Okay, are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Ryan Dice, or a company digital marketer?
I've heard the name before, yeah.
Okay. So digital marketer has been around since early 2000s. And this past week, he shuttered the entire program. He just shut it all down. Something that had made him over $400 million over the course of 10 years. He shut down. And the reason why is because of some news that came out about Meta. And the fact that Meta is going to be replacing all marketers with AI. So ad buy, media buying, and ad creatives are going to be done completely by AI for Meta. So he shut down a platform that was dedicated to teaching and to certifying marketing professionals, and instead went to lead generation, something that another gentleman by the name of Frank Kern has been doing since the early 90s, or late 90s, I should say. So this actually kind of made me really excited because a lot of what I do is I pay attention to signals, and by signals I mean current events. I look at certain things that are happening in the world, and I'm able to make reference of them. It's called signal intelligence. It's actually a field in the military as well as the CIA and NSA. And it's the ability to take different events that are happening, piece them together, and understand what's about to happen. So if you've a really cool way of understanding this, have you guys ever seen the show Billions? Okay. Season 3, episode 2, when Bobby Axelrod lost his license to trade. He was sitting in his apartment, one of the many properties that he had, and he got a notification on his phone of a 7.2 earthquake that happened off of the coast of Mozambique in the Atlantic Ocean. And he decided that he was going to move very quickly. Now, by itself, nobody would think that what the hell is an earthquake going to do? But when you're dealing with stocks, you're dealing with hedge funds, everything means something, because an earthquake isn't just an earthquake. An earthquake also means a tsunami is about to follow. And the tsunami that followed, he knew was going to interrupt shipping lanes and was going to cause some havoc within the market. So he was able to organize the ability to short a market before the event actually hit, because he recognized what that signal meant. So that's a demonstration of signal intelligence. So what I did was, after seeing the signal about Meta and the signal about Ryan Dice doing what he did, I'm like, oh, hang on a second. They're trying to phase out all marketers. Digital marketers are about to go the way of the dodo. Because if AI is going to be doing all of this, what the hell is a marketer going to do? Most marketers just use media buying, creatives, funnels, and all the kinds of things, digital assets, in order to bring awareness to someone's company. But if all social media, which is going to happen, you watch in the next 2 years, you're going to see all social media go this way. No one's going to be using marketing for ad buys and for doing ads and ad placement and whatnot. It's all going to be done by AI. And if that's the case, then marketers won't have a job. There are some marketers that make between $10 and $25 million a year doing what they do. And that will all dry up, because companies are going to have it within their hands, say, well, why don't I just do this in-house? Have an in-house team that I can use to do this for me, not having to pay $10,000 or more per month for someone else to do. Because we're talking copywriters, we're talking funnel creators, website creators, everything that has to do with digital marketing is going to be replaced. And that made me really excited, because I don't want to see marketers go away. I want to see marketers succeed, but they can't succeed using the current system. They need something else. So I made it might be a crazy decision, I don't know. But you guys are the first ones that I'm telling this. I made the decision to actually create a program that uses signal intelligence in a way that can be applied for marketers. So marketers can look for certain signals where they are not only serving markets, but they're also leading the markets, letting them know what's going to happen and how they should direct their marketing dollars. So turning more into marketing consultants who are actually reading the signals, and people who work in this field in other industries, whether it be law, whether it be finance, whether it be the Justice Department, whether it be government, they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this kind of work. And I want to teach marketers how to do this for companies so that they can maintain their livelihoods, so that they can keep their way of being able to serve their markets, but serve it in a better way. So that's why I'm really excited.
That's what's up, bro. Salutes. The best to you with that. Is it a real strenuous process?
Define strenuous.
Is it taxing on the body?
No taxing on the body at all. All it takes is changing your perspective. It's just about being able to look at things differently, knowing what data to accumulate, and then what data to pay attention to. So it's not physically stressful at all. This is more of just a mental exercise, really.
That's what's up. Well, congratulations on the move. I know you're going to knock it out the park because we've had too many conversations that already gave me the impression that when you got your mind on something, you know exactly what you're going to do with it. So,
yeah. It's going to be good.
Yes. I got a video that I want to play for y'all. And like, I did not know this was a thing at all. I didn't. I knew that people copy and paste and they steal photos and they use your images and things like that. But I didn't know that there was an actual term for this specific one. So this might be something that parents might want to pay close attention to, especially, but adults as well too. I'm gonna bring this up. It's like a 3-4 minute clip. I'm gonna let it run all the way through, and we'll just go from there.
Digital kidnapping, and yes, it is as scary as it sounds. As parents, we love to take photos of our kids and post them. It's a great way to keep our family and friends in the loop. But now experts are issuing this new alert that bad guys are using our posts against us to track our children. This morning, you're about to see how they do it, plus the simple setting on your phone that you can change right now to protect your family.
Your baby's hatching.
From Facebook to Instagram, parents sharing their children's lives online. But now the new world's crime, digital kidnapping. Predators stealing your kids' photos and spreading them online. This stranger posting on Facebook claiming this girl was his daughter. In another recent case, a child's photo was tagged on a porn site. Turns out, most of us are putting our own families at risk, and we have no idea.
Happy Thursday.
You post all the time.
Yeah, I like to post about the kids.
That's Michelle and Reese. They think we're doing a general story about social media. What they don't know, back in Ohio, cyber safety expert Jesse Weinberger is poring over their social media pages, checking for private information. So what do you find here?
Through Mom's Facebook account and everything that she's posted, I was able to find out husband's name, children's names. She has 2 children. I know their ages. I know their dates of birth. I know where they go to school. I have the address of the school. I have the name of the teacher. I know exactly which playgrounds they visit, how often they like to go to each playground.
You were showing me a map where you're actually able to find out the path they take to school, how they walk and when.
Right. It wasn't hard.
But even scarier, she says our photos can have a hidden location signature embedded in them. Even if you don't tag the location, anyone can still find out where you are. What's the danger here?
For example, I know that one of her children broke his leg. How easy would it for me to be to come up to the kid and say, oh, you don't remember me, but I was the nurse when you came to the emergency room. How's your leg feeling?
Come with me.
Come with me.
Time for the moment of truth. Come have a seat right over here. I tell Michelle and Reese what we uncovered. We actually had a cybersecurity expert pour through your social media pages. And she put together a dossier on your children, on your family.
Found out some pretty creepy stuff. I know your two sons are Oxford and Ozark. I know where they go to school. I know your route to school.
That's scary.
I also know that your son likes to play chess.
Yes.
Ozark does. He's participated in youth wrestling.
Yes.
I don't want to say their last names, but I know your kids' babysitters' names. Who's Grammy B?
That's my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Think about the information, even just that I've said so far. If this were a bad person, an online predator, I know where your kids go to school, I can walk up and say, hey, Grammy B sent me. And suddenly, they can get away with your child.
You don't want to set your child up for something dangerous.
And we don't even realize it. And I'm a parent too, and I do the same thing. I think we all do.
Yeah, I mean, it's very scary.
So how do you protect your family? On Instagram, make your profile private like that. And on Facebook, click on settings, then privacy, and change right here from public to friends only. And go a step further. On Facebook, categorize your friends in terms of safety. Make separate groups for those you trust the most. And when you post, only share your kids' photos with them. And remember that hidden location feature in some photos? Go to your phone's privacy settings, the camera section, and make sure the location function is off. Also, never put your kids in your profile or cover photo. Those are always public.
It's definitely a really good reminder for all of us. I know there are people out in this world, and they're using that information to do bad things.
By the way, as we sit here,
Here's an idea. Stop taking photos and videos of your damn kids. Leave that shit private.
I'm glad we're on the same page. I was thinking, it always cracks me up how whenever I see these videos, they always act like they're so surprised. Like, I had no idea so much information was available to people. And like, ma'am, you are photographing public gatherings at your kid's school, in front of your house. Like, and the other thing is, in terms of digital safety, people do not realize just how much information is taken from them. If you have any smart devices, all of that is going to other companies. All of that information about where you went on your walk, what ice cream you ate, the emotions you felt when you were looking at a certain website, or the emotions you felt while looking at products on a website, how you respond and how long you look at advertisements that are on. Like, there is so much stuff that they are tracking about us that gives away our information. It's just scratching the surface to remove your information and your pictures off Facebook. It's available in so many other places, but I mean, in general, you don't be putting pictures of yourself and your kids on there. They were mentioning that form of digital kidnapping. There's also other forms of digital kidnapping that they didn't mention. There's one form of digital kidnapping where they actually take your child's photos and information and they create a fake person with those details. And so by the time the child hits 18 and has to get their social security card, the parent finds out, oh, they already have 3 credit cards fraudulently opened up, or they've already taken this ID and have opened up a new existence, and so that child can't actually access their own identity because it's been taken by somebody else. There's so many different cases of children's identities being taken and being used to lavish someone else's random illegal lifestyle. And also, just having your child out there in pictures on the internet is enough for any person with a sick mind to screen grab your child, to figure out where your child lives, to figure out where your child goes to school, and to decide to hang around there and try their luck with your child. So there are so many different reasons you want to keep your child off the internet until, to be honest, I really think that kids shouldn't really have social media until 18. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, teenage years, it's important for social skills, but it's such a dangerous game to play. And I don't know if children should be allowed to have any form of like, I'm posting videos of myself interacting with my friends, pictures of me in public and stuff like that, and then I'm going to put this up on social media for just anyone to see. Because even if it's private, people can still get to that stuff.
So I'm going to say, first of all, that there is no correlation between social media and social skills. None. In fact, there is more correlation between social media and social anxiety than there is between social skills and social media. First of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, social media is going away and it's being replaced by interest media. The things that you are interested in are what's being presented to you now based on the algorithm. This is how TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I think even X have really begun curating their content.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. Second thing is to say that you don't know, ma'am, you are too successful to be that stupid. And I say successful because you're married, you have a house, you have a job, you have kids, you're doing something right. You have a stable home. You can't be that stupid and have a stable home. It's not possible. It's not the fact that you didn't know; it's that you didn't give a fuck. And I know that I'm saying some adult words. I apologize, but that's the fact. You don't care, and you the only time you cared was when you were being affected. When you realized that this was affecting you. Up until then, oh, it doesn't happen to me. Yes, it does.
I had no idea that would happen. Oh my God. I didn't know that was a risk.
When I was teaching self-defense, the one thing that I always made sure that my students understood was that there are three things you have to be aware of. If you are about to be jumped by someone, or if you are in a situation that could get hairy, you have to consider three things. First, they're stronger than you, and they're also more capable than you. Second, they have a weapon. And third, they have friends. Consider the fact that you are going to be outnumbered and you are going to be taken advantage of at any time. And people don't have that level of awareness. They have no street smarts. They are dumb. But they're dumb because they don't pay attention. Not because they're stupid, but because they're willfully ignorant. They don't want to pay attention because they're too goddamn lazy.
Not to mention, few people actually have the skills to actually defend themselves, because everything with TV and showing people fighting and stuff like that is completely inaccurate. So we have a whole generation that thinks they're capable of something just because they've seen it a bunch of times. But a lot of people don't really realize that you can't just be good at something by looking at it. You have to do something with your body physically and understand what you're doing for it to actually work. I've noticed that because of my husband's friends. A lot of them are like, oh yeah, we watch these movies, so we know how to fight. And then when they spar together, just not like just for fun, he can definitely see who are the people that have actually had lessons and who are the people that have just watched TV. And they come at him with these like wild, I'm gonna like throw a flying fist at you or something like that. He's like, this is not realistic.
Even going further than that, like common sense, just common sense. Why is it that we think that every single human being that is behind the camera is normal? I had to learn the hard way. I'll tell y'all something. I got catfished 3 times since using social media. And it was before Twitter and it was before Instagram. I was using this off-brand site that nobody knows about. And the first time, it was a woman posing as India Love. Second time, it was a woman posing as Delicious from Flavor of Love, the TV show where the contestants, yeah. The third time, it was a similar situation. It was a social media influencer. But this was 10, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And this was happening. So it's like, how do you just assume that everybody that you're posing for And look at me, I'm pretty, and look at my child, we got the same clothes on, and look at our dance routine and all that. How is it that you just forget? Oh, I don't know who's really watching. Like, you as an adult are already at risk. Take the children out of it. You just doing what you're doing as an adult. I don't know how many times I've heard stories of these podcasters or people who do content on a regular basis have said, "Look, man, we got thousands and thousands of people following us. They know us before we know them when we outside in the street." And that's just them. So you putting your children out there on display is a whole different responsibility. I don't know how you could be so inept keeping that even in consideration. Like Jason said, it's fucking stupid.
There's also that the fact that children don't have the ability to discern yet. It takes a while for any person to be able to understand the difference between somebody being kind to you and somebody who's actually safe and somebody pretending to be safe for you. It's a lot more, it's a lot easier to trick a child than it is to trick an adult. But we're still getting adults being tricked online by all of these scams. And I don't even, like, there's so many different phishing things that people like, catfishing and fishing for your money and whatnot. If adults aren't even skilled enough to discern, it's foolhardy for them to expose their children and expect their children to make any better decisions. And we are seeing the consequences of this already. We are seeing children killing themselves because they couldn't deal with whatever situation they ended up online. Sometimes it's because they get catfished by somebody who's like threatening them, or they get pictures of them and is trying to extort them. There's all sorts of situations they might put your kids in to get money out of them, to terrify them into doing something for them. Not to mention the fact that they could get literally actually kidnapped. And just the whole conglomeration of all the issues together. They can have all of your information. They can know where you live. They can know where your kid is. They can reach out to your kid. They can pretend to be somebody else. They could pretend to be an authority figure. I have heard people pretending to be police and FBI and all sorts of other reputable organizations, and still, again, tricking adults. So it's just not a place that children should have access to at all, really. Like, with adult supervision when they're in their teens, to understand how the internet works, how to use it as a resource, but it should not be like, they should not have free reign of TikTok, free reign of YouTube, free reign of social media, free reign of all of these other things that I see everyday parents just letting their kid have at. Like, they have.
It's not the kids, though. It's not the kids. These are parents who are taking videos and photos of their kids. Keep your damn kids off the internet. If you want to take a video, fine. Store it on your phone. Don't post it. If you want to take a photo for memory, great. Don't frickin' post it online. This is what I can't stand about this, is that this has nothing to do with being proud as a parent. This has to do with, I want to be seen as someone who is able to be, who wants to be recognized. I want to be seen as someone who's taking get my 30 minutes of fame. I want to be seen as someone who actually has something people want to talk about. I want to be significant. That is all that this is. This is a bid for significance, and they are pimping out their children for their fucking significance. It is absolutely disgusting that they would do this, because they don't care about whether their children get hurt. They care about whether they're going to be seen. And I hate to put them on blast. It's mainly women that do this. It is mainly women that pull this shit.
You know what I remember? I remember photo albums,
Yeah.
picture books. Going to like I got two of them downstairs. If I want to look at my pictures of my family and friends and memories, I go there. I don't even want, to be honest with you, I don't even want to store none of my stuff on my phone. To be honest, like that's how serious it is. But we don't really consider that though. And like Jason just said, it's attention. You really just want, oh, that's so cute. Oh, how old is he? How old is she? The video we did yesterday where the mother was cutting the hair of her daughter, and then she recorded and streamed it on TikTok. What was the point of that?
Who cares? Who cares about your kid's damn birthday party? Everyone in the United States, just about everyone, unless you're Jehovah's Witness, but they're a cult, so they don't matter. Anyone who's not Jehovah's Witness has a birthday that they get celebrated. Big whoop-de-deal. No one gives a shit. It's not their family. It has nothing to do with them. Just keep your kids offline. No one cares about you. No one cares about your family. Sit down, do some work, act like an adult.
In general, I've noticed that's a thing. I wouldn't be able to say what percentage of parents do this, but it seems like today it's a very high percentage of parents that see their kids as a centerpiece, as something they change up, show off, look what they did, an opportunity to brag and get kudos from their friends and their family members, like clap, 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 look what you did, you created this wonderful,
I'm such a great mom.
Yeah, but again, like you said, it's centered around themselves as a parent, not, oh, look at your child's so happy and successful doing what they love to do. It's, oh, look at you, you're such a good mom, look what you gave them, look what you built for them, look what you provided for those children. It's, there's been a deviation from, I mean, I don't know if it's changed or if it's just changed in how it's being shown, but it just seems like we've stopped caring about children as children. We've seen they're more as like accessories.
It's
really
gotten way worse, and social media has been a cause of that. Also, the ultra feminist movement, the third wave feminist movement that has gone along has also created this as well. There's a need for purpose, and if they can't find a purpose themselves, they're going to exploit their kids in order to give themselves legitimacy. And it is extortion of the most disgusting degree, and parents do it themselves. Basically, they're willing to humiliate and shame their children just to give themselves exposure. I mean, these parents need to be beaten over the head with a club until they are unrecognizable, and to have those kids saved. It is. Jenny says to put them under the jail. I think that's a good place for them. It's a good start.
Especially because today we see them monetizing behaviors that in the past would be, you'd get your kids taken away from you for letting them live in squalor like that. But they use it and they capitalize on it. I have this fresh in my head because I literally just watched this slew of videos of parents putting up videos about putting up behaviors that in the past parents would have never shown off. Parents would have never ever, like, I remember like 20 years ago my mom being like, oh, sorry, we can't have anyone in the house right now because I don't want people to see what it looks like in here. Like, I don't want people, it's a bit messy right now, so I don't want people to see our house. Like, people had respect for their homes and like, it was kind of like their private space, but now it's just kind of a free-for-all. Everyone's just like, everything's out in the open. Like, you're going to see my kid struggling with his math homework, and you're going to see him crying because he was bullied, or you're going to see him, like, see my daughter in the throes of food poisoning, and you're going to get to see how I handle that. Like, who even wants to see this stuff? Like, let your kids heal in peace. Let them be alone, not have to be speak to a camera all the time. You can even see this reflected in the videos sometimes where the kids are even telling their parents, like, can you put the cameras away? Like, I don't want those in here. Can you please, like, stop making these videos? And you can tell very clearly in the poor children that have had to sit through like 4 to 5 retakes of the same video of her making them do these dumb like TikTok shorts and stuff like that. Even the kids are fed up with it. I have seen confrontations online where the kids write a letter to their parents saying all of the reasons why it's affecting them and why it bothers them, and they don't feel like they're being listened to, and the parents don't care about them because all they care about is their social media presence. And then the parent has the nerve to be like, well, I need to show my friends. How will they know where we went on vacation? That was an actual quote. Her daughter released her heart to her mom, and her mom had the nerve to say, well, how will our friends know where we went on vacation? That's not the point. Who cares about your vacation? What matters is your child. And what matters is if she's happy and healthy and safe. And very clearly, she does not feel that way with you posting her all over social media all the time.
And this is what makes for unsafe households, emotionally unsafe households. This is basically emotional abandonment as in real time. It is so far out in the open, and people think that it's absolutely okay, and it's not. I mean, Jenny wants to see Savage Jason come out anytime that it involves the exploitation of kids in any way, anytime that it shows an injustice like this. I go full tilt, and I make sure to insult and offend as many people as possible because it's fun.
It goes back to what I said yesterday. I think, and it's just my theory, that when you're a child, you get confused with the difference between the real world and the child aspect of it. Like, you're still on the playground messing with swings and the seesaw and worried about the street lights coming on at 8 o'clock. But like on the flip side of it, as a child, you're looking at people shooting dice out in front of their house, and there's drive-bys, and you got crackheads walking up and down the street. You don't even know what that is. You get confused with your reality and what the real world looks like. And if you don't have parents, or you don't have like a tribe around you to kind of guide you through this transition between childhood and adulthood, you get people who stuck on their phones, and you get people who wants to put everything on social media, and everybody wants to show off their latest shoes and their latest hairstyle, and they want to complain and cry about what a man did or what a woman did, completely ignoring the fact that everything that they didn't get when they were growing up, they're passing it along to their children, being very inconsiderate and not taking into account that you had issues that needed to be addressed, and you didn't address them. I'm not going to say, well, this is for the majority. I'm not talking about the ones who got it together and figured it out. So I'm talking about the ones that's obsessed, absolutely obsessed with social media, the internet, www.ebay.com or whatever site that you frequent quite often. Essentially, these are adults that are still kids, and they never grew up all the way.
Well, yes, it's adults who have not had their emotional needs met, and they did not take responsibility for their own emotional healing. They did not do what was necessary in order to make sure that they were okay, and they these shit pickles decided they were going to dump all of their emotional baggage on their kids as if they had a right to do so. It's like, bitch, you don't have a right to do that. These are human beings that you are raising. You have no right to treat them in a way that is anything other than the potentials of change that they are supposed to be. And if you do anything like that, you deserve to have your kids taken away, and you should be barred from reproduction ever. Like your reproductive card should be taken away, absolutely taken away. You are no longer a reproducing member of society. You are now someone who is banned from being able to reproduce at all because you cannot be responsible. Ooh, I love being this fired up.
To think that they even took this long, like that video, I'm looking at the video like, I didn't even need to see this to know that this was happening. Like, I didn't know the terminology for it, but I learned the hard way. You copy, paste, you create a whole entirely different identity for a person. Something that you had said earlier, sitting with taking somebody's face, and people like dudes out here are perverts. These grown men, they look at these little girls and think they're adults because what you do, you stole their picture and then you renamed them and gave them a different age and a different location and said that they're from San Francisco when they're probably from Minneapolis and 12 years old. But these old dudes ain't looking at that. They ain't thinking about that. And you don't care because you're trying to make money off of it. Human beings can be some of the most fucked up people in the world, depending on the type of mindset they got. Because for the ones who ain't got it up here, there's a market for this type of shit. They don't look at it like we look at it. They're looking at this like, oh, I can make a couple dollars off this.
And this is the kind of, so what we're seeing emotionally manipulative and predatorily opportunistic people on both sides of the aisle. We're seeing that parents are acting just as bad as the scammers that are taking this information and doing nefarious things. And it's like, how much of a misguided piece of shit do you have to be to act like a goddamn criminal? And why are you not in jail? And then to feign the outrage, saying, oh, I didn't know. I can't believe this is happening. No, you just don't want to get caught and you don't want to be called out. But you didn't realize that I was going to see this, did you? So your ass is getting called out because you're an ignorant douche canoe who can't seem to keep shit straight on in your own life, and you have to prioritize your kids as being your emotional security blanket because you haven't figured your own shit out. Wake the fuck up.
I ain't mad.
Bang, 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 bang.
That's real talk, though. I got a question. Should there be an age limit to when a child is allowed to use social media? Or
16. 16. 13 is too young. 16.
How come you don't think 18? Just curious.
Because at 16, this is when you begin forming social bonds and you start beginning to really investigate your own social circles. You're not, when you're under the age of 16, 10, 11, 12, 13, you're really beginning to understand yourself. You're pushing your own boundaries. To have social elements that bombard you with information at that age is way too overwhelming. But at 16, you're beginning to really access discernment, and you're beginning to understand and test reality a little bit. So having social media does help with that as long as it's curated correctly. I don't think that sites like social or interest media sites, whatever you want to call them, should have anything that would really be considered too age inappropriate. Because at 16, you're still considered a minor. However, at 16, you are beginning to understand your world, and you have to be given a chance to create that kind of discovery. Before then, I think as a general rule, it becomes way too risky of really creating overwhelm and then bringing about social anxiety when introducing social media that young. By that young, I mean younger than 16.
Okay. Yeah, I've always like flip-flopped between 16 and 18 because I lean more towards like 16, but I have considered 18 before because I'm like to be an adult. But then but for some of the interest sites like YouTube and whatever, I think that's a bit extreme to be like, yeah, you can't use any of these sites until you're 18, especially since they do have other, at least with stuff like YouTube, it has a lot of practical purposes. I would definitely not say the same thing with something like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but
I would disagree. I would disagree with that, and I would disagree with that because there are a lot of things on Instagram, on Meta, as well as on TikTok that can be very helpful. I think that there should be certain safeguards that parents, first of all, should be setting up accounts for kids so they can input the right age of birth.
Mm-hmm.
And they should have to at least validate the person's age with something.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing that I've seen porn sites doing is not only are they asking for age verification, they're asking for credit card information.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody can put in, a 13-year-old can say, yeah, I'm 18, because they want to see some boobies.
Yeah.
But you have to be 18 in order to get some kind of credit card.
Like those old captchas YouTube used to have. Are you at least 13? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There's no accountability. But at least if you make sure that there is some kind of verification that an adult has to use to verify that they are of age, even if it's the last four of your the state, like for the United States, the state you're born in, the last four of your ID or your license if you are driving, something that proves that you are the age that you are, and well, that's called fraud, and these parents should be in jail if they're doing that. That's fraudulent.
Yep.
Because this is what's happening with these scammers as well. They're doing the exact same thing. If parents are doing that, then they absolutely belong to have. They need to have the kids taken away. Those kids need to go into serious therapy, and the parents need to be jailed for a long time. It should be considered exploitation of a minor, and that should carry a sentence of at least 15 to 20 years. Make it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Anyway, back to the original question. If there's some kind of verification that a person has to enter in order to make sure that they are of age, whether it be a parent or the kid, they have to input their age and say, okay, well, you put your birth date as being that you're 18, prove it. Or you put your birthday as being 16, prove it. And based on that, they get to see content that is appropriate for either being a minor or an adult.
I take it a step further. The parent's device should have access to the child's device. So whatever the child is doing on their device, I should be able to see it on my phone. Until you're legally 18, I should be able to see whatever you got going on in your phone. So if you click on anything, I should be able to look and be like, all right, I see what's going on here. Nope.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, nope, not happening. Access denied. You're not watching this. Because, like, you want them to build trust with you but also at a specific age, nah, I'm still. I think I would rather have that type of access. I don't know. It's kind of. Some people might say, well, that's kind of invasive. You don't have no type of real trust with your kid. Well,
Screw invasiveness.
The internet is invasive.
That is not a conversation to be had. You are responsible for protecting your kids, and that should absolutely be done. Anyone says screw that because it's too invasive, fuck that. Okay, so Jenny, about this idea of fingerprints, that's a form of known as biometrics. And the problem with biometrics is most phones and most devices don't connect biometrics to government agencies, whether it be local or federal. So there's no way of being able to verify that your fingerprint actually is going to, one, be registered with an agency that's going to be able to verify your identity, nor is there any requirement for those biometrics to be registered with any kind of government agency. So yes, while they can help to prove that you are you, there's nothing to actually prove that you are the age that you are. And that's where the problem lies. Again, this is a form of biometrics. Biometrics has anything to do with biological certainty for identity. So what retinal scan, voice imprint, facial recognition, fingerprint, anything that actually uses your biology as a form of identity, all that it does is confirm that you are who you are. It does not confirm your age.
yeah, I'm gonna stick to giving me access to your device.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be the safest way to go. I remember I had access to my niece's social media, and it will actually email you every time they logged on or something. So you could say no to it, and that's it. So I don't know if that's feasible in the long term, but
Well, it can as long as it automatically shuts off once they turn 18, because at 18 they're adults. And just like with medical information, a parent does not have the right to know of their child's medical history as soon as the kid turns 18. They are now a sovereign citizen and are in control of their own identity and their own information. What they do with it is their business. So yeah, I agree that there needs to be some kind of oversight. But once their child turns 18, well, I don't get to see what you're doing anymore. You're gonna have to live your life. I'm gonna have to trust that I did the best of that job that I can. But if you're gonna fuck up, that's gonna be on you.
let me ask a question. Do you think, like with my suggestion, would that be counterintuitive to the type of relationship that you want to have with your child? Like you want to protect them, but you also want them to be able to come to you and
be upfront about it. Like, don't be the parent that lets their kid have the social media, but then they secretly spies behind their back and then doesn't try and have an open conversation. But like when they have the device, be very open with like, this is why we have these rules in place. This is why you have to follow them. Like so they know what the consequences are, because oftentimes kids are more willing to work with you if they understand the rationale behind what you're doing. Also, again, I said to make it open with them, because as long as there's open lines of communication, they're going to be far more comfortable coming to you, even when the information might be distressing. Because if there are no lines of communication opened for whatever reason, whether it's because the parent is not being able to like the child isn't able to come to the parent, or maybe the child for whatever reason just doesn't feel comfortable coming to parents or something. Anyway, if there is no open lines of communication, they're going to hide, and they're far less likely to come to you, even if the problem isn't something they did. They're still far less likely to come to you about it. So make sure that you have communication with your kid, that you're regularly checking in with them. And since you'll have the access, understand what they're looking at, understand what they're following, who they're following. Because I've seen this myself as a teenager and also as an adult. A lot of the times parents may know what their kids are watching, but they don't actually know what content is being promoted by the people that they're watching. They might know the name of the person, but then they later will overhear what they're actually listening to, and they're like, what? I'm allowing this to be. So basically be very aware of the habits that your child has. And then again, be very open with them about it.
So 2 things, and these might be strikes against me, and I hope that they are, because I love offending people. The first one is that I'm a Gen X. I'm one of the last Gen X's that exist. December 11th, 1979. So I'm that close to the edge. Also, one of my idols, one of my heroes, is how did I just forget his name?
Must not be your hero.
Theodore Roosevelt. Walk softly and carry a big stick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of leading with the carrot and also carrying the stick. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of saying this is what we have, and this is how you're going to use it. And if you use it in any other way like this is what's going to happen. Okay? Mm-hmm. And yeah, you could explain the why. It's not as important as explaining the rules of the game. Not why the rules are there, but explain the rules of the game. If they ask, sure, provide the why. But it's not their consent is not a requirement for you to have the rule. Mm-hmm. Your rule is your desire to protect them is the reason for having the rule. So the rule should be there regardless of whether they believe in it or not. I really don't care if they believe in the rules that I make. The rules are going to be made, and they're going to do what I want them to do, or else the consequences are going to be had, and the consequences will continue to be had until they realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore, and then then they'll be able to conform. And again, if they want, this is why I'm such a fan of the way that the military trains soldiers, especially the Army, in basic training. They break down the person who is there, which is why they're always yelling at you, making you do push-ups, run back and forth in every which freaking way, and just being absolutely hard on you, because they want to break down the pride that exists within you. Then they want to break down the individual and then build them up as a member of a team. Mm-hmm. Build them up as someone who's going to be cooperative with and also willing to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. And the ones who are unwilling to do that are the ones that have the hardest time. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are more willing to do this adapt very easily. And when kids understand that the rules are the rules and we have to follow them, and then through the demonstration, they see why the rules exist. Mm-hmm. They see in their environment that there are some people who don't follow the rules and they act like a fool all day, every day. The parents are paying attention. Their noses are in their phones. Oh yeah, Jimmy, go ahead and go do that. That snake's not too poisonous. It might be rattling, but that's just a toy. Yeah, and then they get bit. They're like, oh my God, I had no idea. I have no idea why my kid just lost his leg due to snake venom. It's because you didn't watch your kid while they were doing stupid shit. That's why. But when kids who are disciplined, like I've said before, I don't know where I saw this first, but when I was a kid, I got beat whenever I did something wrong. So now I suffer from this condition called respect for others, and it is one of the greatest experiences because I understand that when you do stupid shit, there are consequences, and it's not the beatings that are important, although the beatings will continue until morale improves. That's not the joke. Anyway, so when you have this understanding of the consequences, then when you have these consequences, you're able to understand that when I do this, this is what happens. And I'm responsible for my decisions. So if I do this, I have to be responsible in this way. I know that I've been talking a lot. I went on a bit of a tirade. I'm going to mute my mic now.
We always enjoy your tirades.
Thank you.
Yeah, you good. Like, people need to hear that shit because, like, you're being goofy. It's a really. I'll say it again. I don't know how people just recklessly say, hello, I'm here. And you don't understand that there's weirdos that's always watching. There's a reason why in the Bible or just church members will tell you to stay girded up, keep the word, stay prayed up, pray. Don't cease without it because like you are constantly bombarded by something. There's always something around you, whether or not it's digital or it's in the flesh. There's always something going on around you. You got trolls, you got stalkers, you got people who want to play political. You got people who are sitting there whacking off to you, arguing with people. You got people with fetishes. You got people who like to see you do weird stuff. It's like there's a market for everything. The things that you don't think there's a market for, there's people like toenail clippings. I guarantee you that. And I just made that up, but I'm pretty sure if I typed it in, it would probably pop up on Google. People have the weirdest interests and desires and lust and need. That alone should already tell you, all right, I give you five right now that should give you more than enough reason to be more careful with what you're putting on social media. People are into getting defecated on. People like feet. People like people sitting on their face. People like getting financially dominated. What's that shit called? Pay pig. The pay pig is men who are attracted to women who are pregnant. They find something like they love it. They pay you to do freaky shit as a pregnant woman on camera. It's a whole thing on TikTok. I just did I just gave y'all 5, and there's more. There's way more. The point is, y'all be too reckless and too like tra la 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 la. You know, I'm going to Kansas, but you got the Tin Man brain cells. I don't know.
Not to mention, you also have that genre of people that will commit crimes and then brag about it on social media. And then they're like, what? The police knew that I did this? How did they find out? My dude.
You know, it's funny is that people are finding all kinds of things except Jesus.
Yeah, that part. Don't even go.
I think I broke Sydney.
I almost like closed the laptop lid. All right, we're done. We're done.
You say that name, they disperse.
Oh no, he said the J word.
No, but it's a real thing. Pay pigs.
I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know that was the name. And I definitely could have gone my entire life without knowing the name.
The fact that it's a name tells me that it's way more common than it should be.
Right?
The fact that it has its own category, it's like, what the hell? What kind of desperate simp do you have to be to actually be looking at this shit?
Yeah. The video that I reacted to, the woman, she got offended. She was mad. She was like, "How dare you, as a woman, claim that you're a pay pig and you're out here putting your cash app in your social media, getting men to pay for your life. We, as people who are actually pay pigs, we will not stand for such unrighteousness. You will be sent to the shadow realms. That's how she was acting. She was really pissed off that people were misrepresenting what it was. And then she went on to break down what it was. She said, "Oh, by the way, if you want to learn how to be a pay pig, I have an ebook that you can check out on Amazon. Links in the bio." No, these people be tripping me out, bro.
Was there actually a book?
It is. It's
Oh my
real.
god.
Oh, you think you're a pay pig? You ain't a pay pig. If you want to how to be a pay pig, I teach you how to be a pay pig. Go to my Amazon, go buy the book, buy my course, get the coaching. I will turn you out.
Can you just imagine those like MLM style like meetings they do, but just talking about the book instead?
Let's do a pay pig reading guide. We'll do like a reading group, a book club. That's what it's called. And then we'll go ahead and try it. Yay!
Yeah.
Oh my god. Bitches be crazy, I swear.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the generation that y'all represent. These are the people that you support and rally behind and give all your likes and comments to. Congratulations. My final thoughts, if I could add anything to this. Once it's out there, it's out there. Your image, like, I remember one time I was on that old site. I never liked putting my pictures up there. I decided to do it one time. Somebody got a hold of the picture and then they turned it into a meme. This was before it was even called memes. That's how old it was. I'm like, yep, not doing it again. Not on this site. Because that site was basically people taking your photos and turning them into whatever they wanted to do. And you're never getting that back. You're not getting it taken down. The website, the people who operate it, they don't care about that, none of that at all. And from what I watched in this video, you're telling me they can learn about your family history, when you broke an arm and leg, and how often you travel from. Nah, I'm good.
See, Jenny said something that's really interesting. She said that sharing her image saved her. So, but bear in mind that you did this as an adult. You shared your image as an adult. We're talking about dumb parents who share images of their kids and wonder why their kids are being exploited. This is child trafficking. This is a new way of trafficking, exploiting young, defenseless people. And how parents are making it possible. And they need to stop it.
Yeah. I think the real issue that needs to be addressed is the parenting style. That might have to be a conversation for another time too. Because I know people would get offended, like really get offended if you try to attack their parenting style. Let's face it, everybody's parenting style it's not hitting on shit.
Keep in mind, people get offended for everything.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Shit.
Snowflakes are way too common nowadays. They have the skin of rice paper.
It's more like skin of like dynamite or something. You like poke them with the stick and they're like, ah! And they just,
Yeah.
some people cannot take it.
You remember them pop rocks, the little yeah, I used to throw them at people and shit. Like I was a badass little kid, bro. Nah, if y'all want to add anything before we get out of here, the floor is yours. But yeah, stop being so thirsty, people. Let your kids be kids, man. Just because you didn't get to be a kid, don't rob them of theirs.
And stop using your children for clout and for social media likes and all of the dopamine rushes that you can get from all the likes that you get on a picture, all the comments. It's not worth it if you're eroding your child's safety and eroding your child's happiness and security. I promise it's not worth it. And it's honestly, to me, it's so much more fun to share pictures individually with the actual people, to send them, like to send the grandparent the picture and to have a conversation around the picture, or to send it to my friend and we have a whole hour-long conversation about our kids based on the pictures that we took. Like that to me is so much more meaningful than, oh, look at 72 people clicked a heart next to my photo. I'm so special. Like, so it's not worth your time. People labor over these pictures. I have seen people losing their mind because, oh, we're trying to get them all lined up and be in the same clothing and blah, 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 just so we can take this picture for everyone. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Live, enjoy your kids. You don't need to record every single moment, have everyone see every single moment. It's possible to love and enjoy your kids without having everything documented for their entire lives. So, yeah, in general, be careful about what you post, but also just relax about it. Just enjoy the childhood of your child while it's still happening. Don't waste your time focusing on how you can capture every single moment, because when you look back on these pictures, there's only going to be a couple significant things that you're going to want to remember. And statistically, we don't even really come back to a lot of these pictures that we hoard. Like we have thousands and thousands and thousands of photos that we don't even get back to. So really, in general, be intentional. Be very intentional with the media that you're taking of your kids, where you're putting it, how you're using it. And yeah.
So what I would say is, remember what your kids are there for. Your kids are not for your entertainment. Your kids are not an extension of you. Your kids are the literal future of humanity. And they need to be treated as such. They need to be treated with the utmost respect and reverence, because they are going to be your legacy. They are your legacy. And how you treat them will be the legacy that you leave through their behavior. And if you're going to use their images and their videos as clout to show what kind of fucked up parent you really are, thinking that you're good, but you're actually failing at life, they're going to know exactly what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you say, or what you say rather. It matters what they see you doing, the behavior that you demonstrate, the behavior that their parents demonstrate. And so they're going to carry that with them rather than what you say. What you say doesn't matter shit if you don't back it up or if you don't demonstrate what that looks like. So you have to make sure to show them, model what being a good human being is. Model what it means to protect your kids. Model how it is you want them to show up in the world so that they can be amazing human beings as well. Because if you're not doing that, you aren't just failing yourself, you're failing your society, culture, and civilization as a whole. Sounds kind of dramatic, but think about it. Think about it long and hard. Your kids are the future of humanity and an extension of you by your behavior. You don't own them. My favorite quote by Khalil Gibran, or favorite poem. It's called The Prophet. And there's a section of that goes this prophet goes to Babylon, and people ask him questions. And this one woman who's holding a baby says, "And what about children? Speak to me about children." And he says, "Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of light longing for itself. They come through you, but are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can house their bodies, but not their thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can give them their love, but you can give them your love, but not your souls. For their souls live in a place of tomorrow that you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you." And every parent needs to have this ingrained, needs to have this burned in their mind, because this is what it means to be a good parent. To be able to treat them as the future of civilization, as the future leaders of humanity, and to be given the nobility of that purpose.
What he said. What he said, what Sydney said, shit. I hope y'all listening, man. Stop being hard-headed. Get it right. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout outs. Best of luck on your ventures with this movie that you about to make, with your book. Sydney, we still waiting on you to complete your work.
I actually just finished editing it this week. So I'm sending it off to my friend, and all that's left is the time.
What's it called?
I'm still debating on the name. I'm leaning towards The Human Beneath, because it's all psychology-based poetry. But the poetry book itself is flower plant themed, so I'm also debating on trying to find something that's symbolically related to plants. So, yeah. If you have any ideas, I'm always open.
I'll shoot you some.
Awesome.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey, look, folks, we about to get up out of here, man. Y'all already know the energy. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to do a reaction before I call it a night, because the work don't stop. We got to constantly be doing this, man. But I hope y'all have a safe journey to work in the morning. If you have to work in the morning, if you're working at night, make sure that you are keeping your eyes open. Don't be so impatient to get to your destinations. And yeah, man, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. This is Assembly Excellence signing out. Do me a solid before you go.
Push the goddamn button.
Appreciate you.